Well. Good morning, everyone, and happy Easter. Today, we've got a stimulus check update for you. The IRS is skipping 13 groups of people or types of individuals who are not going to be getting their stimulus checks. And I wanted to just quickly break down those 13 ways so that hopefully if you fall in one of these 13 categories, you could prevent not getting your stimulus check. In other words, since that's a double negative, we can make sure you get your stimulus check. Let's just get started with the list today. Number one, I have a feeling this is going to be the largest reason we don't end up getting our stimulus check because the IRS keeps releasing updates over this. And generally, when somebody like the IRS continues to release updates over something, it's because they keep having the problem over and over again. When you file your taxes, you ordinarily file as a single person or married filing jointly, or you file as married filing separately. Either way, however you file, look at your tax return and go, okay, how did I file? And then ask yourself this. If I filed individually, that's single or married filing separately, does my banking information actually point to an individual bank account? See, I'm married to Lauren, and we have a joint bank account. Kevin and Lauren Paffrath are signers on that account. If I filed married filing separately and I wanted my refund sent, but I tried sending it to the Kevin and Lauren account, it would get rejected, so I would not see my check. The same is true if you're filing jointly, you're filing married, and then you're trying to deposit those funds for Kevin and Lauren Paffrath filing jointly into, let's say, an individual account. If I try to put it into an individual account, that will not work. Our joint funds have to go into a joint bank account. Or you could have filed with your taxes something called the Form 8888, and that allows you to basically put Kevin's half in Kevin's individual account, Lauren's half in Lauren's individual account. Let's go to the next one. Number two, if you just straight up didn't put any banking information on your tax return, obviously don't expect a direct deposit of your tax return, but just know that this week, April 13th, the IRS is releasing a portal. It's not out yet, but look for it. I'll put a link down below on the webpage where it will be. This is the website, by the way, where you will see when that portal is live. Right now, if you don't file a tax return, you could input your payment information here. If you do, this portal is opening up this coming week. Number three, if you've entered into any kind of agreement with a payday loan company or paycheck advance company, they might have direct access to your bank account and you might get the $1,200, but they might instantly try to take that $1,200 out to repay a payday loan. So be careful where you're sending your deposit check. If obviously if you have an agreement with like a payday loan company, fulfill your contract, but some people are saying you might want to have a different bank account the money goes into. So use that portal that's coming out. But again, read your loan terms too. Number four, if you do not have a social security number, you probably will not get the stimulus payment. Which this means if, let's say you're a parent of a 2-year-old or 3-year-old or 4-year-old and you're supposed to be getting your $500 per child, but you haven't yet applied for a social security number for your child, make sure you do that as soon as possible. This might be difficult now under lockdown, but as soon as practically possible, make sure you get your child's birth certificate and go apply for a social security number. By the way, something else that you can do, which this might just be because I'm paranoid, but for my 2-year-old and 4-year-old, as soon as I got their social security numbers, I actually also froze their credit, which sounds insane because you think, well, how could you establish credit before you're 18 years old? I don't know, but children are all of a sudden now the victims of identity theft as well, which is nuts. It's a crazy world we're in right now. This also applies to number 5. If you have an ITIN, that is, you're potentially an undocumented worker, but you pay your taxes, you might be getting cut out of receiving these stimulus checks. Number 6, there are over 3.3 million Americans who are overdue or behind on child support payments, and these child support payments come first. So what that means is when the stimulus check gets released and it's on its way over to you, there's a good chance it's going to get automatically intercepted and redirected to the custodial parent, basically the parent who has custody. Which, as somebody whose household was destroyed at 6 years old when my parents divorced, and I have very vivid memories of this, I'm sorry. Number 7, if you did not file your 2018 or 2019 taxes and you are not on Social Security, you won't get the stimulus check either. You had to have filed for 2018-19. There is still time to file. I'll put some links down below so you can really quickly file. It's easy to do if you have a relatively simple tax return. And if you do not need to file because you're under certain income limits, you can also go directly to the IRS website, IRS.gov/EIP, and you could put your direct deposit information on that website for not having filed, as long as you're not required to file. If you are required to file, the best thing you can do is file your 2019 taxes, probably your 2018 as well. But as long as you just file one of those, you should be eligible for your stimulus check. Number 8, you might get your stimulus check, but you might lose it if you fall victim to a lot of the common scams that are going on. The most common ones right now are companies calling folks saying that they can expedite your stimulus check if you pay a processing fee. This is a total scam. Other companies are straight up asking for your banking and direct deposit information, saying that, hey, we'll be able to expedite the depositing of your information, and then they end up charging invoices against those accounts, which even though you think the bank will protect you against this kind of fraud, a lot of these charges end up going through, and you end up going through months of headaches and hassle trying to get your money back. Be very, very careful with scams. And remember, never tell anyone your Social Security number. Ever. Like me, and I talk about this in my course on money, or my real estate course, I talk about it as well. I don't give my Social Security number even to my doctor or my dentist. They're like, what's your social? I go, I don't give that out. Well, we need something here. I go, okay. And then I just write some baloney in there. Nobody gets my social. Here's one that's actually kind of creative, even though it's still scammy, so we can't compliment them, but people are actually sending checks out to victims that say IRS stimulus check, but then it has on it something, and it looks very official, but then it has something on it that says, please call this number, and you end up calling this number to be able to cash this check. And that's where they try to say, well, we just need to verify your banking information to make sure you're depositing it into the right account or whatever. They basically trick you into giving them your personal information because you're looking at a $1,200 check and you're like, I just need to deposit this right now. Number 9, a lot of folks today take care of their parents, and because they take care of their parents, they end up claiming them as dependents. If your parents are claimed as a dependent on your tax return, they will not get the stimulus money, which sucks. That especially sucks because a lot of families were counting heads in the household going, all right, mom, dad, me, wife, we should all be getting stimulus checks, and all of a sudden half of that got cut out because seniors claimed as dependents do not qualify for the stimulus check. The same goes for number 10. If you are a college student or a child, or you're in your 20s, you're a millennial, whatever, if you are claimed by somebody else on somebody else's tax return as a dependent, which you probably are if you haven't filed your own taxes, you won't get the stimulus check either. But the good news is you could still get 2 free stocks with Webull by depositing $100 using the link down below, which is right next to the link for my awesome programs, the 32% off coupon code, and of course, free quote for life insurance. Now, initially there was a lot of talk that, hey, if you get claimed as a dependent, at least the people claiming you could get an additional $500 because you get $500 per child. But unfortunately, that was limited, and only people younger than 17 qualify for an additional $500 credit. So for example, if you're a parent of a 17-year-old, no $500. If you're a parent of a 16-year-old, $500. By the way, if you're 18, 19 to 24 and you haven't filed your taxes before and you were claimed by your parents in, let's say, 2018 and nobody's filed their 2019 taxes yet, file your 2019 taxes. Have your parents not claim you as a dependent and file your own taxes. Then you would get your own stimulus check. Now, just a heads up, if you end up deciding to file your own taxes and your parents, let's say, do not claim you as a dependent, realize that dependents still create tax benefits. There are earned income tax credits, there are child tax credits, and so your parents, for example, might end up losing those credits. You'd be filing your tax return, getting your own stimulus check, but you're kind of like taking from your parents and then giving to yourself, which is really something y'all probably run by a CPA first. Number 12, even if you are now unemployed, but you made too much money in 2018 or 19, you won't get the stimulus check. You can use a calculator, I'll link down below so you could see if your income would qualify based on your 2018 or 19 taxes. Number 13, if you filed your 2018 taxes, but not your 2019 taxes, and you had a baby in 2019 or 2020, you're not gonna see $500 for that baby. If you filed your 2019 taxes, and you had a baby in 2020, you won't see $500 for that baby either. But you will eventually see it when you go file your 2020 taxes. That is, you should see that $500 as a credit towards your 2020 taxes owed. You just won't be getting that advance in the form of a stimulus check. Well, there you have it, everybody. Follow me on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.